The Battle of the Bulge, a pivotal and fiercely contested battle during World War II, took place from December 16, 1944 to January 25, 1945. This clash was the final major German offensive on the Western Front and played a crucial role in the Allies' ongoing advance into Europe. The battle occurred at a time when Germany was already under significant pressure, having experienced initial success in the war, but now facing a rapidly deteriorating situation. The Allies, emboldened by their previous victories, had made substantial progress in Western Europe, advancing deep into France and Belgium following the successful D-Day landings in June 1944. The Soviet Union's progress from the east added to Germany's strategic challenges, leaving the Third Reich in a desperate position. Adolf Hitler, motivated by a combination of ambition and desperation, orchestrated this bold counteroffensive in an attempt to regain lost territory and disrupt the Allies' progress. The Battle of the Bulge was a pivotal confrontation that tested the determination and capabilities of both sides, setting the stage for the final phase of the European conflict. German forces launched a surprise attack through the Ardennes Forest with the goal of creating a bulge in the Allied lines and capturing key strategic positions. This intense and large-scale battle highlighted the resilience and strategic prowess of both the German and Allied forces, shaping the concluding chapters of World War II. The winter of 1944 to 1945 was a crucial period in the war as it reached a decisive juncture. By late 1944, the Allies had established their dominance in Western Europe following the successful D-Day landings in June 1944, which led to significant Allied advances into French territory. With the capture of Normandy and subsequent progress into Belgium and the Netherlands, the Allies had made substantial inroads into German-occupied areas. During this period, the Soviet Union made significant progress on the Eastern Front by pushing back German forces and capturing key territories. As the year came to an end, Germany, once the dominant power in Europe, found itself increasingly on the defensive. The Wehrmacht, Germany's military force, faced severe resource shortages, depleted morale, and mounting casualties. Hitler's regime was in a dire situation, with Allied forces gaining momentum and advancing towards the heart of Germany. In this context of weakening strength and growing pressure, Adolf Hitler planned a bold and desperate counteroffensive. His goal was to exploit what he saw as a vulnerability in the Allied lines and turn the tide of the war in Germany's favor. The Ardennes Forest, a dense and rugged region spanning Belgium, Luxembourg, and Germany, was chosen as the location for this ambitious operation. It was believed that the difficult terrain and harsh winter conditions would provide a strategic advantage by disrupting Allied air support and supply lines. Hence, the Battle of the Bulge became a crucial confrontation in the context of Allied superiority and German urgency, representing a significant phase in the Western Front's movement towards the eventual resolution of the war. The Battle of the Bulge, also known as the Ardennes Offensive, was a risky strategy devised by Adolf Hitler in an attempt to reverse Germany's declining fortunes in late 1944. At that time, the Allies were making significant progress on both the Western and Eastern fronts. Hitler's plan was motivated by a desperate desire to regain the upper hand and stabilize Germany's weakening position in the conflict. The main goal was to inflict heavy losses on the Allied forces, weakening their ability to sustain their advance. By disrupting and disheartening the Allies, Hitler aimed to slow down their momentum and potentially prompt a change in their strategic stance. Furthermore, the offensive aimed to seize crucial strategic positions and reclaim lost territory, boosting German morale and securing vital resources and advantageous positions. One of Hitler's most ambitious goals was to compel the Allies into a separate peace agreement, which would enable Germany to concentrate its military efforts on the Eastern Front against the Soviet Union. This would, in theory, allow Germany to refocus its resources and attempt to stem the tide of Soviet advances. The Ardennes Forest, with its challenging terrain and harsh winter conditions, was selected as the battleground, as it was expected to provide a tactical advantage by disrupting Allied air superiority and supply lines. In essence, the battle was a desperate bid to shift the war's momentum, leveraging a surprise attack and exploiting perceived weaknesses in Allied defenses to alter the course of the conflict. The German strategy for the Battle of the Bulge was meticulously crafted to achieve a decisive blow against the Allies, leveraging both tactical ingenuity and the element of surprise. The main objective of this ambitious operation was to create a significant bulge in the Allied lines, disrupting their front and seizing control of crucial supply and communication hubs. By advancing through the Ardennes Forest, the Germans aimed to take advantage of the rugged terrain, which they believed would act as a natural fortress and reduce the impact of Allied air superiority. The Ardennes, with its dense woods and challenging landscape, provided a favorable battleground where the Germans could conceal their movements and launch their attack with relative secrecy. Additionally, the harsh winter weather was expected to impede Allied reconnaissance and air operations, allowing German forces to advance more freely. The strategy involved a surprise attack with a concentrated force to sow confusion and disarray among the Allies. By striking through lightly defended sectors and overwhelming vulnerable areas, the Germans sought to exploit the initial shock and capture key positions before the Allies could regroup effectively. This approach aimed to achieve rapid gains and shift the momentum of the war, aligning with Hitler's broader strategic goals and potentially changing the course of the conflict. The German forces amassed for the Battle of the Bulge constituted a formidable and highly concentrated military effort, including over 400,000 troops, 557 tanks, and a significant arsenal of anti-tank weapons. This massive mobilization highlighted the scale and intensity of the German offensive. The primary combat units involved were the 12th, 21st, and 6th Army groups, which combined conventional army divisions with elite formations like the Waffen-SS. These elite units, renowned for their rigorous training and combat prowess, played a central role in the German plan. Field Marshal Gerd von Rundstedt and Field Marshal Walter Model meticulously planned the attack on the Ardennes Forest with the goal of capturing Bastogne and encircling the Allied forces to force their surrender. Rundstedt oversaw the strategic direction, while Model executed the tactical details, coordinating their forces to take advantage of surprise and difficult terrain. Their plan aimed to breach Allied defenses, disrupt communication lines, and seize strategic positions for a decisive advantage. This aggressive strategy reflected the high stakes and German high command's determination to turn the tide of the war. Despite being outnumbered, the Allied forces in the Battle of the Bulge played a crucial role in countering the German offensive with around 230,000 troops and 483 tanks, facing challenges due to the numerical disparity and harsh winter conditions. The ongoing combat operations had worn out the Allied forces, and the severe winter weather made things even more challenging by impacting movement and supply routes. The logistical problems were a major issue, with damaged infrastructure and insufficient supply lines hindering the Allies' ability to maintain their positions and respond effectively. Despite these challenges, key units like the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions played a crucial role in the defense, especially in defending important locations such as Bastogne. Their determination and resilience were vital in holding back the German advances. Additionally, the 1st and 9th Armored Divisions, along with other reinforcements, were instrumental in the counterattacks that eventually changed the course of the battle. These armored units were essential in breaking through the German encirclements and reinforcing the embattled positions, the Allies' capacity to regroup and make the most of their remaining strength, despite the tough conditions and logistical hurdles, was essential for their eventual victory in the battle. The Battle of the Bulge began on December 16, 1944, with German forces launching a surprise offensive featuring a massive artillery barrage. This sudden attack through the dense Ardennes Forest was carefully planned to take advantage of the natural terrain and harsh weather conditions. The Germans sought to catch the Allies off guard and achieve a decisive blow. Initially, the Germans made significant progress, creating a noticeable bulge in the Allied lines, capturing key towns, and surrounding the strategic Bastogne. This phase of the battle was marked by extreme brutality, such as the massacre at Malmedy where Kampfgruppe Piper, a Waffen-SS unit, brutally killed American POWs. Despite the challenging situation, American resistance remained strong. The 101st Airborne Division and other units successfully defended Bastogne against the encircling German forces. Their steadfast defense played a crucial role, providing a vital point of resistance for the Allies to rally around. The tide turned on December 23rd when the weather cleared, allowing Allied air support to resume operations. This regained air superiority facilitated effective Allied attacks on German supply lines and tank columns, severely hampering the enemy's logistical capabilities. General Patton's Third Army played a vital role during this phase, as their breakthrough efforts were crucial in relieving Bastogne and disrupting the German advance. The German offensive began to weaken as they faced severe fuel shortages and logistical challenges, worsened by deteriorating weather conditions. The Allied counteroffensive, supported by reinforcements and improved supply lines, steadily pushed the Germans back. By January 25, 1945, the Allies had successfully reversed the German advances, restoring the front lines to their pre-offensive positions. The Battle of the Bulge marked a turning point in World War II, representing the final major German offensive on the Western Front. This critical battle significantly drained German resources and morale, hastening the eventual collapse of the Third Reich. The Battle of the Bulge resulted in significant casualties for both the German and Allied forces, showcasing the intensity and strategic importance of the battle. German forces suffered around 120,000 casualties, including killed, wounded, and captured, which significantly impacted their remaining military strength. This loss was a severe blow to Germany, depleting their already strained resources and weakening their ability to sustain prolonged defensive operations. The Allied forces, mainly consisting of American troops, faced approximately 81,000 casualties, with 19,000 killed, 47,500 wounded, and 14,500 captured or missing. Despite these heavy losses, the Allies successfully halted the German advance and eventually turned the tide in their favor. This battle highlighted the resilience and determination of the Allied troops, who bravely withstood the initial surprise attack and launched a successful counteroffensive. The Battle of the Bulge had significant consequences for World War II. It was the final major German offensive on the Western Front, depleting Germany's offensive capabilities and speeding up the collapse of the Third Reich. The battle highlighted the importance of logistics, air support, and the ability to quickly mobilize and reinforce positions. It also emphasized the crucial role of intelligence and readiness in modern warfare. The Allied defense and counteroffensive not only foiled Germany's plans, but also advanced the Allied push into Germany, leading to the surrender of Nazi forces in May 1945. This battle was a critical turning point that contributed to the eventual Allied victory in Europe. The Battle of the Bulge had a profound impact on the course of World War II and subsequent phases of the conflict. It significantly weakened the German military's capacity for large-scale offensives, altering the war's dynamics decisively. The heavy losses suffered by the German forces in terms of personnel and equipment expedited the downfall of the Third Reich and accelerated the Allied advance into German territory. The battle underscored the importance of intelligence, logistics, and air support in modern warfare, crucial elements in the Allies' successful response to the German offensive and their ability to regain the initiative. The resilience and resolve shown by the Allied forces, particularly in defending key positions like Bastogne and launching effective counterattacks, demonstrated the strength and adaptability of the Allied military. The successful defense and subsequent counteroffensive not only thwarted Germany's plans, but also bolstered Allied morale and strengthened the cooperation and coordination among the Allied forces. The Battle of the Bulge showcased the strategic and operational skills of the Allied commanders and their capacity to adjust to evolving battlefield circumstances. The insights gained from this battle influenced military strategies and doctrines in the post-war era, shaping the advancement of modern combined arms warfare and emphasizing the significance of logistics, intelligence, and air superiority in achieving military goals. Ultimately, the Battle of the Bulge stands as a pivotal event in World War II history, representing the German war effort's desperation and the Allied forces' resilience and strategic intelligence. And that's a wrap on the Battle of the Bulge. From the cold, snowy forests of the Ardennes to the dramatic clashes that shaped the final months of World War II, we've explored how this pivotal battle turned the tide in favor of the Allies. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us bring more stories from the past to life. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications so you never miss an episode. We've got more exciting historical content coming your way that you won't want to miss. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history.